Alright, this is a cruise ship coming by, SpanishWells. Well, we're at Egg Island and we're all getting ready to pick up and head offshore to the Abacos tonight. It's a beautiful night. There's some overcast skies, but for the most part, the weather should be pretty good. Light seas, unfortunately light winds to go with it, but it should be nice motoring weather.
Okay, so morning net on it. Bliss standing by 7-1.
That was the kids setting up a cruiser's net for 2:30 a.m. They're gonna wake up at 2:30. Wyatt won't, because I'm gonna have him up doing a watch. Woo!
RV up.
With the lights of Nassau shining through the clouds, as we approached 10 o'clock, we made our way towards the Abacos. Although it was supposed to be a full moon, you couldn't tell for quite a while due to the thick cloud cover. We had to dodge a few ships, container ships, cruise ships, but after a while the clouds started to part. As we progressed, every hour, the kids would jump on their net and ask a trivia question of all the boats. We had never done this before, and it made the night go by a lot faster. It's been a good long night. I got a couple of minutes of shut-eye. Jennifer took the helm for a little bit. It's been rocky for a while. It was really good for the first part. We were getting something like 8 to 10 knots, which, well, not ideal, but still better than the 2 we're getting right now. The sun's about to come up. I've slowed down so that I don't get to this inlet before the sun is mostly up. You know, we've been through it a bunch of times and we got tracks. Still like to be able to see what I might bump into. Well, we made it with our friends, no less, and Bliss to Little Harbor. We crossed last night from Egg Island, just a little south and I guess east of SpanishWells. I made a good rough sail, to tell you the truth, and more of a motor sail than anything else. Anyway, when we got here, all kinds of things were up with the dinghy. I apologize for the noise in the from the generator, but I've got charged batteries because I'm not getting much solar today with this overcast sky. Let me see if I can show you what happened while we were across. So this is a Davis harness for my Yamaha, and it's worked pretty good. And I don't know what I did to it, but when I loaded this thing, I pinched this, wasn't paying attention, and somehow I started cutting through it. Anyway, I don't trust it anymore, so I need to do something different. And I've been wanting to do something different because it's never quite fit this motor well and balanced it. And so what I'm going to do today is create a Dyneema harness for lifting the dinghy on and off the back of the dinghy, for lifting the motor on and off the back of the dinghy. First, you need some Dyneema. And I think this is maybe 3/8, but the braking strength is extreme. So, I mean, this is probably 1,400 pounds. The motor weighs 60. I think we're going to be pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a series of straps that are what, you know, backpackers or hammock folks who use Dyneema will call dog bones or lollipops. And it'll be a loop in both ends. and that will strap across the back of the motor, underneath and across the top, and we're going to hold all three pieces together with soft shackles that we're going to make. Next, you're going to need a way to cut that Dyneema, and I have not found anything better than a ceramic knife for cutting Dyneema. Maybe a pair of titanium scissors. And then next, we need FID, a tool for manipulating it. And we're going to use a piece of wire. And mainly because I can't find my FIDs. And two, this works better. You'll also want a Sharpie. I moved over under my Dodger while my generator's running. Still, to get a little bit more involved here. So you can pick the loop any size. You can make it any size you want. All right, you make a big loop, you make a small. We're gonna make small ones. All right. There's a lot of theories on, you know, how much of a bury you need to have in place. I think it's 17 times the diameter of the line, but I have found that as little as 8 or 9 times will suffice if you have a Brummel lag. But anyway, let's say you wanted to do the original. You make the loop the size that you need it to be, and then you mark both sides of where the loop is. All right, so now we can find where we want it. All right, we can find the point. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to pass the end through this side. Right, so we're going to poke a hole. It's going to pass through till we see this red dot on the other side. Then we're going to take the other end and put it through that line, and that's going to make the lock. And so let's take a look at what that's going to do, or what that's going to look like. So the best, or what you should do is loosen up the fibers a little bit and take your FID, in this case our wire, and we're going to just poke it through there. And you want to get even number of strands on both sides of the rope. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide the end into your wire FID, or if you have a FID, the back side of the FID, and you're going to pull it through. Okay. And it's going to look something like this. All right? But then you're going to keep pulling it through till you see that red dot right here come through. Now we're going to loosen this side up. We're going to poke through, hopefully getting the even number. I like to open the hole up a little bit. So you're going to take the end of the rope, and you would do it the same way. Even if you already had a splice in one end, you would just pull that splice through here. So this is just to show you the detail of getting the Brummel lock. All right. There you go. So now that's locked. Get this nice hole, this nice loop, right? And then all you got to do is bury this tail. So this is the sort of the Brummel lock. I'm going to show it again, but now we're going to bury this short tail, and then we'll taper it. So what I like to do is go maybe an inch further than the length of the tail, and we're going to push the FID, in this case the wire, all the way up through to about this point here, and pull the core through, or pull it through the center of the Dyneema. So then we just milk the cover back down and bury it. And that's it. So now we've got an eye that's locked, and that's the basis for the dog bone. Now I'm going to put the other one in. I'm not going to show you this. There are much, much, much better videos on the internet for you to take a look at. So look those up. It'll show you how to make these dog bones and the Brummel splice much better than I'm showing you. I'm just going to concentrate on making the harness now. It started raining again, so I had to move underneath my bimini. But here's the first strap finished. Now we're going to do the next one, and essentially we're going to use this type of improved or modified soft shackle. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but we're going to make it out of the same sized Dyneema that we've got for the straps. A test fit the two lower parts, and then before we make the top strap that's going to lift it from the top. All right, so it's looking pretty good. It's feeds up underneath this part of the engine mount and the transom mount for the engine. All right, so here we have the top piece, that top strap, and to make it easier for me to both identify the top strap, but to lift the engine with the lifting hoist, I'm going to splice a loop right through the center. All right, we done. I got the soft shackle. It's gonna be my safety. It's gonna be my safety shackle, or maybe I'll just use this rope. Yep, that. And we're gonna try it out somehow on the way in from. Yeah, somehow the plug fell off the dinghy on the backside, so we're improvising. Wyatt's got some sort of cap that he jammed in there, and he's got a suction cup in the front trying to keep it from going out. But it's not working. But it's working good enough that I think we can modify it to the rest of the way. That's better. And even though that loop looks pretty sketch, yeah, I don't like it. I'm probably going to change it. Change that top line to not have that loop through it. Maybe use a soft shackle instead just to loop underneath it. We just left Little Harbor, and well, I don't think we scraped anything, but ooh, it was close. Supposedly the tide was at 9:45 today, and we're actually, and I'm saying high tide, and we're leaving pretty damn close to that, but it was tight. Oh well, it wouldn't have been too bad if we had to stay there another day.